In daily life, we sometimes look around and truly wonder where all the money has gone. Sometimes we feel the emptiness, the market is dull, the streets are quiet, and businesses are closing their doors. But is the money really gone? Or is it just lying somewhere, frozen, waiting for the right moment to be awakened? The nature of money in the economy is like blood in the body. When it flows fast and freely, it feeds all the cells and systems. When its circulation is cut off, it immediately threatens to destroy the entire organism. The story of money is not merely the problem of consumers or investors. It is the vital soul of the entire macroeconomic system. And in places like Vietnam, where real estate is not just a place to live, but the main undisputed investment channel, this truth is more pronounced than ever. When the real estate sector is booming, the economy feels oxygenated, expanding rapidly. But when that market freezes, money instantly stops moving, creating a paralyzing chain reaction across all areas. So where is the money? How does money truly operate? And why is real estate, an immobile type of property, able to determine the vitality of an entire economy? Welcome to Krama Chronicles, where we expose the hidden mechanisms that govern your financial world. The money does not die, it only transfers. When the economy is in decline, when personal income is stagnant and businesses halt investment, many people ask the same question: where did the money go? The common feeling is that the money has simply vanished into thin air. Transactions slow, the market goes cold, numbers fall freely, and trust is shaken. But if we only focus on the personal feeling that we have no money left, we miss the most crucial essence of money in economics. Money does not die, but it only transfers from one bag to another, and its speed of transfer is the true engine of the economy. Here's a specific example, illustrating this miraculous power of circulating money. Imagine a single unit of 1 billion VND. Mr. Huang takes out a 1 billion VND loan from a bank. Starting from this single action, the loan itself immediately creates economic activity. Mr. Huang uses that 1 billion VND to buy a house from a real estate company. For Mr. Huang, the money is gone, but from an economic perspective, the money has only transferred from his hand to the hands of the real estate company. The real estate company then uses that 1 billion VND to buy land from the government. The government receives the money and uses it to fund a public project, such as road repair. The construction owner receives the money from the government and pays his workers. The construction workers use the money to buy new phones. The phone manufacturer uses the money to reward a senior manager, who then uses it to buy a car from an agent. The agent then decides to use the money to buy a house, and the 1 billion VND flows back to the real estate company. In this story, there are 7 appearances of that single 1 billion VND. That single unit of money has successfully created GDP worth up to 7 billion VND, and it ends up back in the hands of the real estate company, ready to start the cycle again. That is the miraculous power of money velocity. Although the total amount of money in the economy is only 1 billion VND, its circulation has brought unceasing wealth to society. In ideal conditions, as long as the money flows fast enough in a rapidly growing economy, the money that each person earns will be immediately spent or invested, maintaining a massive GDP with only a relatively small amount of actual physical money. But conversely, if someone earns money but does not spend or invest it, the overall economic chain is immediately broken, and the flow of money in the market slows down dramatically. This is what makes people feel that money has disappeared. The lending process itself is the creation of an artificial stream that creates real value. Banks do not give out pre-existing money, they create credit. When a bank notes a 1 billion VND account entry, the banking system has effectively created a new unit of currency. But that currency only gains real value when it is actively distributed to the market and used to produce a tangible product or service. This is why people say credit is the bloodstream of the economy. The problem lies entirely in the velocity of that money. Who keeps the money and who lets the money go? In that currency chain, real estate, government, workers, manufacturers, managers, and back to real A devastating truth emerges: as long as just one single link stops spending or investing the money, the whole chain shuts down. If the senior manager is rewarded 1 billion VND, but instead of buying a car, sends the money to a low interest or savings account out of fear of the future, the money stops dead. When no one continues to spend, the real estate developers cannot sell houses, and the cycle cannot complete. The problem here is not the lack of money, but the terrifying slowing down of the money circulation. Experts call this the phenomenon of the money stream breakage or the liquidity trap. The money does not disappear, it only retreats to safe places. When the economy is booming, money flows to production, real estate, stocks, and consumption. But when it stalls, the money immediately retreats to safe places like physical gold, foreign currencies, U.S. bonds, or land in rural areas. People withdraw money from banks, divest from stocks, and hoard assets to preserve value. This money hoarding is why, even though money still exists, it only changes safe places from one bank to another or from a stock portfolio to gold, leading to a system-wide feeling of being starved of capital. The real estate chokehold in Vietnam. In Vietnam's economy, real estate is not just property, it is the ultimate repository of wealth, a value measurement tool, and the most popular investment channel for the majority of the population. From middlemen to wealthy families, the ultimate goal is to buy land and houses. Real estate plays the role of a financial gravity well. When the real estate price increases, everyone rushes to invest, mobilizing billions of dollars through debt, loans, and prepayments. This massive amount of money flows into construction, labor, transportation, and banks. It creates a powerful multidisciplinary effect that contributes significantly to GDP growth. However, when the real estate market stagnates or collapses, as in the 2022-2024 period, the money stream is almost instantly cut off. Buyers withdraw, investors hoard money, banks fear lending, construction projects are scrapped. The money flow is severed, and as analyzed, when money does not return, value does not arise, and the feeling of a money shortage overwhelms society. People change their financial behavior. They shift from consumption to saving, from market activity to hoarding. This explains why banks are constantly calling for loans, desperate to push money back into the market, while the people are holding money tight and shivering in fear. The feeling is correct. The velocity of money has decreased dramatically, and 1 billion VND in the bank has become a dead number. Vietnam's economy shows that if the house price is moving and liquid, the economy is energized. Conversely, if the house price decreases or freezes, the market suffers. This is the property effect. When asset value increases, it leads to increased consumption and investment. When it decreases, not only investors lose money, but businesses and banks suffer immediate trouble. The money flow is blocked and real estate houses cannot be sold, people dare not buy, and businesses cannot make money. The entire economy is constricted. Although the government tries to pump money through tax cuts or credit expansion, if fundamental trust is not restored, the money will remain frozen. So where is the way out? There are two painful paths to solving this problem. The painful correction adjusts the house price to a new, sustainable low level, allowing the market to set up a more reasonable price floor. This is a painful process. Investors lose their shirt, but the market recovers faster. The alternative channel: find a new, transparent, and stable financial channel to gradually replace real estate as the primary store of value. If the money has nowhere to flow, people will continue to hoard and wait. And when they wait too long, the foreign economy, like a machine lacking oil, will die gradually. In essence, real estate in Vietnam is a massive central vicious cycle of the money stream. When it runs smoothly, money flows from buyer to business, to bank, to worker, and returns seamlessly. But when that one industry stalls, the feeling of economic stagnation ceases. To be just a feeling, it becomes a worrisome reality. Understanding how money flows is understanding the economy. And from there, each individual can see that money is not something to be hoarded, but to be used at the right time in the right place and for the right purpose. Only then can it truly create value not just for themselves, but for the whole society. Thank you for witnessing this critical economic analysis. This is Chroma Chronicles, signing off.